Hi y'all, it's Kimberly here. I'm gonna talk about something I've been wanting to make a video on. I just haven't gotten around to it. My experience with making videos didn't start until I started YouTube. I've never really been much of a presence on social media or anything like that, at least not visually. And my speech is not very, I guess, not very good. I'm a horrible public speaker, let me say it that way. I've always kind of had a little fear of public speaking. In crowds, I'm not real vocal, I guess. It depends. When I'm around my friends or people, if I'm around a bunch of people I know or something, it doesn't bother me at all. Or if I'm in at work and I'm, stating my opinion or something for my job, then I'm fine with that. But I've never had to give a speech. I've never had to speak in front of a large group of people or do anything like that. I think, well, maybe in grade school or junior high, maybe. Well, speaking in front of the whole class, there'd be like 25 or 30 people, which I always hated. And I didn't mind it if it was like for classes that I liked and I was doing something like a book report, because I love to read. And I like writing and telling stories and stuff like that. And I was good at, that. I made good grades in that class. And some of the classes, it didn't bother me. But as far as like being on the debate team or in a class like that would terrify me. There's just no way I could do it. And plus, as I have been told, I have an accent from Texas. Well, of course, sorry. This video setup isn't very good. I just did this. I'm in the parking lot here, and before I go home, I've been thinking about making the video, and I noticed, well, I've told this story several times about the way I decided to start my YouTube channel, that I was looking up recipes, and then I kept getting directed to YouTube, and I really didn't understand what YouTube was, and it was just like a video library. I thought it was like an online how-to video library or something, which it is kind of, it's the go-to place. It's like the visual side of Google, I guess you could call it. And I would watch recipes, or I'd look up something if I wanted to know how to do it. And then I just, by accident, happened on some like regular, I guess, vlogs and people talking about them. I don't know, their life, and I was like, that's so strange, why would somebody do that? Or I was like, I didn't understand really what it was, and I just I blew that side off. I didn't really think about, that you can have your own channel until I did start seeing some stuff in the news. I think Jenna Marbles and some other creators were getting some news attention, and I think I remember I think it was like GMA or something when Jenna Marbles was on it, and I saw that, and actually I don't know if I saw the actual one or if I saw like repeats of it in the news, because they were really rude to her. And I know that I saw I just can't remember if I was watching it as it was happening live, or if it was like replays of it. I don't remember. But I thought, they're kind of rude to her because they didn't understand the platform of YouTube either, and they didn't understand the value of, what YouTube is. And now all these news agencies that criticized her and other creators for, making a living off of doing this, now they all have their own news channels. So everybody's utilizing YouTube. See, there we go. Sometimes, well, let me continue on with it. I had thought about it, but I didn't have the equipment, and I just didn't think I could do it. I was like, I didn't know what would I have no real skills, I'm not a professional person or anything. I'm not an actor or, comedian or anything like that. So I didn't really think much about the idea. But then later on, I started watching more YouTube and seeing the comedy channels and some of the vlogs and stuff, and just regular people. And then I came across a video on YouTube saying, start your own YouTube channel. I was like, didn't you have to have a lot of equipment and stuff like that? And I still didn't start my channel, which I regret. I wish I would have started it then. I had a lot of content I actually could have, in my life that I could have made content about at that point. But it just didn't hit me, how easy it would be, that you could just start your channel and just go. And if there's anybody out there, start your channel and go. Don't wait, 10 years like I did. Because at the time that if I would have started, I would have been monetized. And now you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in 1 year's time. So it takes quite a bit, a lot of dedication and a journey. And especially if you're starting out slow, like my channel is not, I don't do stunts and I don't do crazy things. I don't have a lot of money to, give away and do stuff like that. I'm just doing my daily vlogs or semi-daily vlogs and hoping, that I'm going to grow. And I do have future plans, things to add on to the way I want things to go on my channel. And one of the reasons that I actually didn't start was because I do have a speech impediment, and I've been through speech therapy as a child for a couple of years, and I had problems with my SHs, my THs, my Rs, and every once in a while when I'm talking I have some other combinations of, grammar that is kind of, I don't know. I think the speech therapy did help me because I was born in Texas, and raised with that twang and the way we speak. And then I went to Louisiana, off the coast of Louisiana, near, on a Cajun island. And that influence, right at the formative years of my language years, I was learning to speak around that time, or more clearly in sentences, I guess. I already could speak, but whenever a child is learning to speak with, and plus I was learning bilingual, I was learning French and English. And I could speak a little bit of French as a baby and as a English speaking. I spoke both English and French. But I wasn't fluent. I was just barely learning how to speak, and could barely put sentences together. And it was with the Cajun influence also. And when I came back to Texas as a child, nobody could understand me. And I guess some of the sounds of my consonants and my vowels were just had a weird sound to it. A lot of kids, when they're first learning to speak, they have language issues. And mine was pretty strong, and so I went through speech therapy for a couple of years, and I still have a little bit of issues with it. And I notice, on a lot of my videos, I have idioms or expressions that I say. A lot of them are, pertinent to my vernacular from the part of the country that I'm from. Ain't, can't, god, dog, or something like that. I mean, I try to control it a little bit when I'm trying to speak because I want everybody to understand me, and trying to hide your accent. I'm very proud of, being from Texas, but I know that sometimes it can be, I think the drawl that we have in our speech is, very drawn out. Because even when I had a teacher that was from Georgia. Actually, she was from Georgia and New York, or she had lived in both places, and she had the weirdest accent. But it was like a New York accent with a long drawl, like a southern drawl to it, and it was so strange. And we do down here have that southern drawl and a twang to the way we speak. So I think just like when I'm trying to listen to Trisha Paytas, I cannot understand her. She speaks so fast, rapid fire. I mean, I have to scroll back the video and listen to her because she speaks so fast. And I know I have a very slow kind of speech, and with my speech impediment, sometimes I do mispronounce things and I have to repronounce them. And I had a fear of that, kind of like when I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel. I was like, I'm not a good speaker. I can't, I'm not an actor kind of person. Everything I say is, not, I won't say, not really, I don't really follow a script. I do take notes occasionally. I might like write somebody's name down because my memory's not that great anymore. I'm not a spring chicken. I get older. Sometimes I can't remember stuff. And so a lot of times I write their names down. Also, just so that I'm the kind of person that I need to do the action and speak it or see it. That's the way I learn. For me, my learning process, I have to actually like do something. I have to read it and analyze it, and if it's something that's I don't know, tangible, look and see and feel, or something, I have to have the whole experience. That's the way my brain works. Everybody's brain works differently. And I noticed that I have a lot of idioms, I guess, or the way not really idioms. I say like and and really bad habits. That's what it is. I have bad habits, bad speaking habits, because I've never been much of a public speaker. So sometimes I do have those. When I roll back my videos, I'm like, oh, you sound horrible, Kim. But for me, it's realistic. That's the way I am with my vlogs. I don't really. In the very beginning, I did not really I wouldn't say rehearse. I had to redo a lot of my videos. Probably the first 10 videos, I would restart them like 5 or I think maybe 10 times, a couple of times, because I just couldn't. I would get tongue-tied, or I can't express what I'm trying to say sometimes. But I think I'm getting better, and I appreciate any help anybody can give me, and any comments. Thank you, and I take it in a positive light, and hopefully I'm getting better. I didn't know if it was real noticeable. I know I maybe look uncomfortable, but I think I just have bad habits, and I love making videos. I really love doing this, and I'm trying, I have plans for, like I say, doing other things later on. I'm just growing slowly right now. But sometimes when I'm speaking, if you think that I'm, I guess, a little off, it's because I'm not a good public speaker. And I don't use a teleprompter or anything like that. In the future, I think I will maybe try to do something like that, but right now I just do things like off the cuff, or I just kind of write down my notes and I just kind of run through it, what I'm going to say, I think, but I don't have everything written out. Everything that comes out of my mouth, most of it is just off the cuff, what I'm thinking. And maybe that explains a little bit sometimes I guess I have noticed it myself, sometimes the way I hesitate, or I'm trying to think, how my brain just glitches a little bit with my speech impediment, so sometimes I have to force the words out like that. And anybody else who has any kind of issues like that, just be yourself and just keep doing it, and you'll improve as you go on more and more. And I also look at other videos from other people to watch their techniques, the way that they look at the camera, or the way they speak, or something like that. Watching other videos of people and paying attention to their technique and the way that they say things, or the way they are, it kind of helped me a little bit too. Not to copy them, but to get a sense of, how do you make videos, how your presence on video, how do you want to look or sound. And for me, I thought the best thing for me would be just a simple vlog type of video, because I don't have the setup, and I really don't have a lot of time. I'm always busy. If I could devote, a long time, do it full time, which is my goal in the future, then yeah, I do have ideas of how I want to make my videos. Probably make less of them in the car, and excuse me, Sometimes I burp. I'm sorry. Things happen when you're just saying things, off the cuff. Yeah, if you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel, start it now and just go. Just do whatever you think, what your interests are, what you have to offer, you're unique in yourself. So just do it, and don't worry about, lighting or fancy equipment or being, how you sound, or like I say, I'm the worst public speaker possible, And I have all kinds of weird little habits. I also have a tic. I have a medical tic, and sometimes I notice on the video it's come out, but it's been very mild. I was stopped by a police officer about a week ago for my license plate light being out, and the red lights were flashing super bright. And I don't have epilepsy, but I do have a medical tic, and I told the police officer after, he was taking forever, and then he came back, and I was like trying to shield my eyes. I was like, I have a medical tic, and I think I'm fixing to start ticking out, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, and he tried to hurry, and I was like, could barely sign it, and I did, like right there. And that was like an involuntary thing, and I've done that, occasionally I do that in the videos, or I might be looking the opposite way, which is just a bad habit, It's not like I'm spacing out. And sometimes there's like cars or people or something when I'm in my car or something, or I notice something, in my rearview mirror, I'm trying to stay safe, and just that kind of maybe explains some of my, not my actions, or the way that I look on film, or on video, I mean. I just have, little bad habits, and I just do everything like off the cuff on my own. I don't use teleprompter or anything like that. Just little notes here and there sometimes, and that's probably why if I look sometimes like I'm a little off. And I do have low blood sugar problems, and sometimes that does kind of slow me down. I feel kind of weak or kind of strange sometimes. Well, that might explain some things to some people. Think, oh, this girl's so weird. I am a little weird, but from a standpoint as far as my speech and my vernacular and stuff like that, well, maybe that explains something for some people. But thank you all for listening to my videos. Thank you so much, and thank you for listening to my podcast, my dog show, The Dog Show with Kimberly Quintanilla. Anybody who's been doing that, thank you very much. And I'm still contemplating making another podcast, and that would be kind of like I don't even know. I'm still thinking about it, so I don't really know the complete subject of it. I was thinking of just like everyday things, or what's in the news, or stuff like that. Just a random podcast. No particular, since I have no particular skill, that it would have to be random subjects, or just things of, I don't know, in the news, or whatever's happening, current events or whatever. I'm still thinking that over, though, because I have very limited time with my job and doing this podcast, and this channel takes up a lot of my time. And my dogs take up a lot of my time too, which I'm fixing to have to go home to them, and I'm sure they've all got to go potty and do something. Okay, thank you all. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe.